They said time was a river that could never be cut. That it was unbreakable. Well, they were wrong. On the eve of the Empire's spectacular collapse, a lone warrior found the one weapon that could defy eternity itself. When the final, world-ending battle was over, everything just stopped, and from that deafening silence, he awoke. Steam rose from a deep crater. There, a warrior, blooded but unbroken, pushed himself up from the scorched earth. His name was Kael. His first words, a hoarse whisper, "Where is everyone?" He stumbled through a battlefield frozen in time, where thousands of soldiers were suspended mid-motion, arrows hanging in the air, and flames frozen in place. Amidst the dust and debris, a single weapon gleamed, a sword as black as obsidian, pulsing with a faint, blue light. They called it the Chronoblade, a mythical weapon forged from the blood of the first saint and tempered in the heart of a dying star. It was said to possess the power to cut through the very fabric of time. As Kael knelt and touched the blade, a shockwave of energy burst outward. For a single heartbeat, the frozen world flickered back to life, then froze again. He gripped the hilt, his voice trembling. What are you?" The moment his fingers closed around it, time obeyed him. The world lurched forward for 2 seconds, then stopped cold once more. But as he would soon learn, every gift demands its price. His mind fractured, fragments of his past flashed before his eyes, the warm smile of his wife, Lyra. The innocent laugh of his child, the horrifying image of his village burning. Each memory dissolved into static, replaced by an echoing whisper. "Do you remember me?" The first cut the blade made took a memory, the second would take so much more. Weeks passed, or maybe it was only hours, he couldn't tell anymore. For Kael, time now flowed like shattered glass, sharp, unpredictable, and dangerous. He walked through the desolate ruins of the Empire's capital, where every clock was stopped at the same hour, midnight. It was there he met an old comrade, Captain Eldon, who now aimed a spear directly at his heart. "You shouldn't be here, Kael," Eldon warned. "The capital's dead. Everyone who touches that blade, they lose themselves." Kael's reply was heavy with grief. "Then maybe that's what I deserve," Eldon pleaded. "You still have a choice. Throw it away before it consumes you." But Kael couldn't. His hand tightened on the hilt as the sword whispered to him, not with one voice, but with many. Voices of the past, the future, and something else, his own echo, urging him on. "Keep cutting," it whispered, "and you'll see the truth." Standing before a massive city gate, guarded by phantom soldiers, Kael swung the blade. Time shattered like glass. The Chronoblade didn't just move through time, it erased it. Every swing carved away seconds, moments, even fates. The phantom soldiers dissolved into nothing. As Kael stepped through the now unguarded gate, he staggered, his vision blurring. A memory tried to surface, but the details were gone. "Lyra?" He gritted through his teeth. "Why can't I see her face anymore?" Each strike cost him a piece of who he was. As he dropped to his knees in agony, a shadow began to form behind him, a tall, armored figure, bearing the exact same blade. And in the wake of Kael's cuts, this new presence just stood there, silently watching. As rain began to fall, each droplet paused in midair, bending around Kael as if time itself had grown to fear him. The Empire had once forged armies of gods and monsters, but all it ever needed to destroy itself was one man with the power to cut time. Kael stared at the shadowed figure, which mimicked his every movement. "Show yourself," he commanded. A flash of lightning illuminated the figure's face. It was Kael, but older, scarred, with eyes that glowed an unnatural blue. At first, he believed it was an illusion, a cruel trick of the blade. The truth, however, was far crueler. He sought answers in the ruins of an abandoned castle, studying ancient murals that depicted the blade's dark history. The Empire's own record spoke of a terrible paradox. The wielder who masters the blade shall one day fight himself, for he becomes the guardian of his own undoing. As Kael gripped the hilt, his reflection in a cracked mirror began to shift. The reflection smiled when he did not. It was his future self, its voice low and taunting. "You think you're the first? Every swing brings you closer to me," Kael demanded. "Why would I ever become you?" The reflection replied, "Because to protect what you love, you'll cut anything, even time itself." The glass shattered, and the image vanished. The blade didn't just take memories, it rewrote them. Each cut stitched new fates together, and Kael's soul was the thread. He wandered to the village where his family once lived. Or perhaps, where they never had. The memories were so frayed he could no longer be sure. Amidst the ruins, he saw them, Lyra and his child, playing, laughing, alive. But as he rushed towards them, they flickered like smoke. "Come home, Kael," Lyra's vision pleaded. "Before time forgets you completely." He dropped to his knees, trembling, his voice breaking. "Lyra, please." But they were gone, Only the hum of the blade remained. It didn't care for love or sorrow, it only fed on them. With a scream of pure anguish, Kael swung the blade wildly. Time itself split open, and the entire village was frozen in a crystal light, a wound across centuries. And through that rift, something was watching and waiting. In a raging storm, Kael climbed a cliff toward an ancient temple. Above him, his older self appeared, cloaked in flame and shadow. "You should have stopped after the first cut," the future Kael said. "Who are you?" Kael demanded. "I'm what's left when the blade finished its work," the figure answered. "The guardian of time's end." Kael was finished. "Then kill me and end it." But his future self just shook his head. "You think death ends this? Death is the only thing the blade cannot cut." He raised his identical sword, and lightning exploded between them. When the storm came, even the sky held its breath. Time bent backward, showing the Empire's rise, its fall, and the countless lives erased in between. The warrior fought his future self, and in every single swing, he lost another second of his own existence. Finally, Kael fell to his knees on the mountain peak, the chronoblade pulsing violently. "If I stop swinging," he panted, "the world ends. If I keep fighting, I become you." His future self lowered his blade, his tone softening. "There is no choice. That's what it means to hold time itself. Every cut you make is a mercy for someone, somewhere." But mercy is just another name for destruction. Kael looked at the blade, then at his own scarred hands. "Then maybe," he whispered, "mercy should end." He drove his blade deep into the ground. Time fractured. Shards of glowing blue light rose into the sky, and in the deafening silence that followed, the world finally remembered how to die. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the edge of reality. See you next time.